So on the off chance that you clicked on this video, you likely battle with arrangement setting, and after observing this, your issue is planning to be unraveled. You may not have an arrangement setting issue after observing this, since I'm planning to break down precisely how I booked 1,000 qualified deals arrangements within the last 8 months alone. Let's get into this so it sounds like a ton of gatherings when it's really not, and it's super basic. If we bring arrangement setting down to begin with standards, and in case you aren't recognizable to begin with principles and how to think in first standards. Basically, once you have a bottleneck or after you have an imperative in your commerce or organization, we got to go back to the basic center truths, what is genuine around arrangement setting. Very actually, it's getting a human to concur, to urge on an assembly with you. That's all it is presently in arrange, to induce a human to really concur and say yes to jumping on an assembly. We got to have a few sort of reverberation when it comes to our offer presently to get it. What reverberation is, it's basically saying to your specialty, see, I know you've got a torment point, let me unravel it. And on the off chance that it's really genuine, at that point, you're aiming to put gatherings. So most individuals, they reason by relationship. Presently, let me quickly put this on the thing. They reason by relationship. So this means that they see one individual doing something, and at that point they go, duplicate them, and this will never work on the off chance that you were doing this. At that point, you're bound to come up short exceptionally severely. And I know this since I once was you. I literally used to duplicate. I utilized to go on YouTube, seek for the finest outreach clips 2024, and I utilized to similar to see like a Joel Kaplan video, duplicate the script and ponder why it failed. Like it's so self-evident to see back on it presently, but I did not understand it back at that point. You, in the event that you're an apprentice at that point, you're probably doing the same thing, right, presently. And I'm going to be genuine with you, since these other folks aren't. There's no glossy script. There's no mystery way of getting arrangements. And on the off chance that you're seeking out for that at that point, perhaps this isn't the correct commerce demonstrate for you. It's not like an overnight thing. It comes down to understanding human nature, understanding brain research, and no doubt getting into the mind of your client's brain, fair understanding what makes them really need to induce on a meeting. So let's get into this presently when it comes to your specialty and what is the best way of getting arrangements. Let me compose this here. It comes down to where they spend the foremost time. So let me put this, where are your niche hanging out? What platform do they spend the foremost time on? If you're focusing on more seasoned individuals, go for Facebook, LinkedIn. In the event that you're targeting younger individuals at that point, Instagram and Twitter. It does depend on what specialty. That's why a glossy script or a glossy protest isn't reaching to work and just get you a ton of arrangements, since in case anybody tells you that goodness typically the, as it were, outreach strategy, or typically the, as it were, inbound strategy for anything. You know, specialty Eshin, they're lying. That's basically the truth. They're lying. So what I would do, right, is on the off chance that I had to book a TH arrangements, here's the arrange. So let's get into this. So clearly you've got outbound. So outbound, let me like this, which is coming out to individuals. Also known as thrust showcasing. So we've got thrust and we've got pull promoting, which is pulling individuals towards us. Presently, this is obviously inbound. Presently, in a perfect world, we got to make them go hand in hand. Most individuals would tell you to do one or the other. That's off base. We require a bit of a brand. So when we do outreach, it's attending to work. And people are progressing to tap on it and actually get sustained. So at the center, let me put this line here. So we've got, I apologize, my handwriting is like completely awful. We've got best of pipe, center of funnel, then bottom. So in arrange to really book a TH arrangements, and let's put 1K here. We need the beat of the pipe to be really good. We need lead stream. Most businesses fall flat and die since they are not getting sufficient leads or they're not getting sufficient individuals to offer to. Presently, how we do usually, what I would suggest I likely wouldn't prescribe, B2B advertisement straight absent, since in case you've got an issue on the back end, sales benefit conveyance at that point, you're, as it were, getting to be intensifying that issue. So the reason, or what I would have at Beat of Pipe, is SMS. And it depends on what specialty as well. So in the event that you're working with like genuine bequest material or any in-person businesses, at that point, SMS and dialing would be the fastest way to very actually get a ton of arrangements. I think Instagram, in case you're on the off chance that you're working with more youthful individuals, you've got to be building a brand on there. So in a perfect world, right, we require lead stream like fast and the, as it were, way to do. That's fair. Discover where your specialty hangs out, and fair. Completely go ham on, no doubt. These sorts of things. Presently, I've continuously found more victory on Facebook, Instagram, and SMS fair, since it's a more conversational stage compared to emails and LinkedIn. It's fair apart, more dubious, particularly in case you're not great at copywriting and you're tenderfoot, which you likely are. It's a parcel less demanding to offer on these stages. Now, in terms of the center of a pipe, usually essentially sustaining. So we get the consideration. We require substance resources. If you aren't making substance, or in case you aren't educating your specialty, right, in 2024, you're planning to come up short. Like, there's no way you'll be able really construct a effective office coaching trade in case you're not educating your niche. So in a perfect world, right, able to have the center of a pipe, and in our Instagram outreach or in our Facebook outreach, we are able to be sending them substance resources within the follow-up handle to actually get them sustained and get them warmed up so they know you and believe you. So once you get on an assembly and you go for the changes at the foot of the pipe, they're really like lovely, much prepared to purchase. So typically, truly critical individuals purchase from individuals. Presently, let me clarify this, as well as booking calls. So in the event that somebody books an assembly, let's put it here, which you ought to get it. Why individuals book an assembly. So I talked approximately to begin with standards and not reason by relationship, but book an assembly, right? It's because of you. Let me clarify this. So they are booking a assembly since of you not, essentially the benefit, the offer does play a gigantic portion, but they need to like you essentially. And the issue is that with Facebook and all these stages, the come all like building a fruitful office, right? It's fair being able to communicate and reverberate along with your advertise. But the issue is once you do it in Facebook and Instagram, it's very difficult to communicate the message across. It's very difficult to induce conviction over around your service. So that's the most issue. So basically we have to be put ourselves out there on real like substance resources, which we are able at that point send them in the DMS on the off chance that they aren't answering, or within the follow-up handle basically. But no doubt most individuals fall flat since they basically do not have the lead stream. So we got to get lead stream. These are likely the stages I would target. Continuously begin. Hold up, let me go for up. We require a 15 to 20% FRR. Let me put this. So what this implies is that we require a 20% to begin with answer rate. So most individuals, what they make a ache of is in this prepare, they pitch straight absent. So I'll fair put pitch. You are doing not need to pitch straight absent. Presently, there's continuously this steady fight between people telling you to pitch straight away. Some people telling you to have a discussion, and you're kind of probably right, presently stuck on like what ought to be like the opening message, the moment message when I'm sending my messages, right, on Instagram or Facebook or whatever. And the problem is, in the event that you pitch straight absent, you're going to get stuck in the demands. You basically need to make it. Let me put a easy. Now, what EOEQ means is a simple open-ended question. Easy open-ended address. We require a question that they can say yes or no to, without then, at that point, thinking now the finest one are ones that haven't been utilized. However, since of overexposure entropy, all these terms that would make it difficult for you to put assembly. So get inventive, discover an address in which your specialty can say yes or no to send them that message. They react. And in case they react to begin with message, they're much more likely to reply to the second, third, fourth, and at that point get on an assembly, and after that turn into cache, quite literally. So we have to get them to say yes to the primary message. And at that point, we can basically just go in with our pitch. And once more, we need a reasonable call to activity. So one issue is that individuals inquire for an assembly, straight absent in their pitch. No one's ever progressing to get an assembly with you after like one message, essentially, or two messages. You would like a reasonable call to activity. So this might be like, would you discover this important? No doubt. Would you discover this profitable? Like, do you think it makes sense for me to send over more information? Would you like to memorize a bit more? Those are reasonable call to activities, something in which they can actually, they're not progressing to feel like as well forced, and they can say, yes. So that's what I would do for the outbound. And after that, clearly for inbound, you need to be following as numerous individuals as you'll in your specialty, like that period, like take after 200, 300 individuals per day on Instagram, Facebook, or anything. Stage your require hangs out on like what I told you at the begin, like very actually that's what you wish to do. Presently, I'm attempting to think what else, but the reason like SMS and calling is so capable, since everybody has their phone inside like 2 meters, like you observing this, right? Presently, 99.9%. I wouldn't put everything I have on it, but your phone is probably inside 2 MN of you, right? Presently. So that's why SMS and calling is the best, or WhatsApp outreach, which normally people conversation approximately. Presently, there are a few directions around this. So I'm not telling you to do this. Do your inquire about, I will not be dependable if anything happens. Otherwise, you get sued. That is not my blame. This can be for instructive and content purposes, as it were. Do your investigate. And at that point, better believe it. Cold calling is likely the foremost capable. But truly, most individuals do not get the top of the pipe sufficient. They do not have the lead stream. That's literally it. Your deals, in case you're a tenderfoot, it'll be between like 10 to 15% in case you are a total apprentice, if you've never done deals call. So usually what your closing rate will be. But the issue is that you're not getting sufficient gatherings. Like I utilize to get like 40, 50 gatherings a week, which is like insane. But that's like what I utilize to urge, and I still get like 20 a week. On the off chance that I truly, in the event that I needed to, I could get like 50, but I can't be bothered. So yeah, so most individuals do not have the lead stream. So you really require like a good funnel. And you can choose where your specialty hangs out and go from there. I would prescribe, no doubt, truly where your niche hangs out. And after that, fair, absolutely obliterating the volume, do 10 times more than everybody else. And moreover, try to utilize like computerization, because we're in 2024. You ought to not be sending DMS physically. That's truly vital. But yeah, that's the common introduce, right? Get lead stream, have a good middle of a funnel where you nurture individuals. And after that, send them that within the actual top of the pipe so they can get supported. And after that bottle of a pipe, clearly you want to send more substance resources when they book a assembly so they can indeed get warmed up, indeed more truly imperative. And you'll be chilling essentially. But most individuals think little of how much lead stream they require. So definitely, essentially, do your volume, whether it's substance or outbound or both. Like what I clarified here, you wish, I don't know where on earth I put this, but basically you wish both inbound and outbound, because they work in an hilter-kilter input circle, meaning that the way better your brand is, the way better your outbound is attending to be, and the superior your outbound is getting to be, or the more outbound you do, in the event that as long as you're taking after the individual, you're planning to get more individuals take after you back, meaning that your brand will get bigger. So you need to work SA pendulum. They both work together. But most people just do not put out the volume enough, or they're kind of frightened. And an incredible way of going approximately, this is try to get 10 NOS in a row. So let me put this here. Attempt to urge 10 NOS in a push. So what I cruel by this, right, is as a business visionary, you're attending to be frightened once you fall flat. You like people, they don't want to fall flat. They do not need to lose. So on the off chance that you effectively attempt to induce 10 no in a push, it's progressing to be like you're playing a diversion basically. And let's say you like message like 9 individuals and they say like no, then you have got to start once more. And the total objective of the diversion, right, is to urge 10 individuals to say no to you. And in the event that you are doing that, what will happen is you'll start to induce truly great. And after that, you'll begin to urge like essentially no NOS, no NOS. But no doubt it does make sense. So that's a fun amusement attempt to induce 10 no in a push, whether it's calling, whether it's messages, whether it's substance. And after that, you're sending them resources. That's a fun diversion to play. No doubt, donate that a go. I'm getting to be uploading way more substance on this channel, I think. Like 75% of you're not subscribed. So better believe it, hit the subscribe button. And like moreover, take after me on Instagram, since I'm really posting a beautiful, enormous announcement on there Friday. You ought to be observing this on Thursday or anything. And I'm attending to deliver you an opportunity to create a few cash and get clients with my system. So no doubt, take after me on Instagram, Charlie Barra Biz. I'll put it within the portrayal, and remain tuned for another recordings, and I'll capture you within the next video. Watch out.